Good morning, gentlemen. Raisy, I think yesterday you proved you didn't only have some fantastic games, you also did what it takes to win. And I think that's a very important mentality for someone who's a champion. You're now able to get into the second day, you're part of the Final Four, you've had a chance to rest, a chance to reset. Against the people you're playing today, what kind of styles are you anticipating?
I don't really know how I'm going to play against K1llsen because it's been a very long time since I played him last. So I'm just going to have to find out during the match.
And K1llsen, welcome back, of course. You lifted the trophy last year, so maybe a little bit of a weight on your shoulders, I don't know. How has preparation for the tournament and how was watching the games yesterday prepared you for this morning?
I mean, we had quite some good matches, so I could take a couple of infos out of them. And also, like, preparation going well. I think I stepped up a little more since PGL. So, yeah, that's what I'm here for, to lift the trophy again. But let's keep it low for now, step by step. And this is the matchup now I have to face, and it's going to be a tough one for sure.
All right, well, we're looking forward to a fantastic, close match between these two. Best of luck to both of you, gentlemen. Head to your computers as we get ready to hop into the first match of the day. Things are a little bit cold, maybe getting the fingers warmed up, making sure everything's ready, but we will be getting live in the next couple of minutes. In the meantime, though, it's over to the analyst desk to see how this game is going to break down.
Well, here we are moving into the first game of the day. It is Raisy and K1llsen quickly getting to their PCs on the stage. Apart from their very minor best-of-one-ish encounters this year, the last result, I believe, was K1llsen getting 2-0 on Raisy at DreamHack Winter 2017. I'd say that was possibly when Raisy won in his basically only and his big slump that he briefly had. Otherwise, Raisy's got a pretty good track record versus K1llsen. I'm trying to think of a prediction of myself. I'm feeling this could go any way. The only reason I'm looking a teeny bit more to Raisy is because he had all the matches yesterday to kind of get himself used to it all.
But of course, there's also a counter to that, and that is, of course, that, well, Raisy doesn't really know how K1llsen is going to play, whereas on the other hand, K1llsen had the entire day to prepare for Raisy in specific. He knew he was going to go up against him by the end of the day, and so he's had a lot of time to look at Raisy's games and to maybe come up with a battle plan and a strategy going into this first matchup.
Yeah, well, let's actually see if we can break down some of the picks and bans that we've got now. You can see our boy K1llsen up on the screen. As Jorasol mentioned, he took the trophy last year. I'm sure he's gunning for it once again, twice in a row. Our champion bans is, we've got Clutch banned out by K1llsen. That's not an uncommon ban. We saw Cypher doing that as well yesterday. And Visor banned out by Raisy.
Well, I think that's the Clutch ban. That's, of course, to be predicted when you go up against Raisy. It still is his main champion. He plays it better, arguably, than anyone in the world at this point. So I think that pretty much everyone who went up against Raisy has banned that champion so far. And on the other hand, well, Raisy banning Visor. Visor is a champion that we haven't even seen much of this tournament. He's been banned quite often, but even when he wasn't banned, he really hasn't been even played that much.
Yeah, true. I mean, I think we saw occasions where one player's picking him, the other isn't. I don't think that's a champion that Raisy relies on at all. No. Absolutely makes sense to ban that champion out. We're going to be getting Blood Covenant on stream as the first map. That one was picked by, let me have a look. That was picked by K1llsen. It was. I haven't casted this map at all. I don't even know if it's been on... Have you casted Blood Covenant?
It has been, yes. I casted it once yesterday.
Okay, I didn't
remember who it was, but we did get to see Blood Covenant, and we actually did see Visor on it. That was the only time that I got to cast a Visor game yesterday. And both players picked Visor then. Second map, then following Blood Covenant, will definitely be Veil of Nav. That was, of course, Raisy's pick, but let's very quickly move into the champion picks. We've got BJ, Ranger, and Nyx on Raisy's side, and K1llsen counters with the exact same mirror picks.
Okay, yeah, I like the Nyx pick. I think really good on this map. There has been a change, though, with the hourglasses. So all the hourglasses on the bridge and on the stairs leading up to the bridge, that's 4 of them, they've been removed, which you could see as a slight nerf to champions like Nyx that can be heavily reliant on her ability. But because you're small, you can maybe be deceptive, and you're still going to want to hide in the corners of the map, not to take the rails, not be in open areas, which the kind of bridge position can offer to your opponents anyway.
Yeah, and of course Nyx has that passive, that wall jump ability too, and that is so useful on a map like this. You can get over from bridge to rail and back so easily. You can go from rockets to platform, so it's a lot of mobility that you get by picking Nyx. But on that note, we are going to get in to this first round of the day. It will be K1llsen versus Raisy, and we are on K1llsen's point of view. Ranger going up against Nyx.
Right on. I like the Nyx first pick from Raisy. I think she's absolutely solid there. He's managed to get the rail early on. Sure, he'll be gunning for the LG first, but getting the rails off of this champion, he's already going slowly to get a sort of feel for what K1llsen might be prepared to bring to this game.
And at this point of time, both players are still missing one crucial weapon each. K1llsen doesn't have rail, Raisy doesn't have LG. They're both well aware that this is the case, as K1llsen is moving back over to the LG, barely, or Mega rather, missing a rail.
And K1llsen, he's going to get over to rail now. Is it going to get punished out by Raisy? He fires a rocket, doesn't hit anything. Weapons are going to be exchanged. Raisy pays a lot for that lightning gun. He'll manage to get himself a light armor, a 25 health bubble. Gets cut off by K1llsen. The orb misses because the Ghost Walk's used. And Raisy's going to have to try and survive now. It goes under bridge. Let's see if K1llsen can cut him off.
That was such a good play by K1llsen. First dropping down, perfectly reading Raisy, hitting him with the rail in the back, and now Raisy has no Ghost Walk whatsoever. So low, K1llsen pushing in, but that defensive rocket is going to buy Raisy a little bit more time. Can he get out of the room alive?
Oh my god, the lightning gun from Raisy all of a sudden fully connecting. Looks like K1llsen was more confident than he should have been. And now there's going to be heavy, there's going to be plenty of health for him to take. And he's looking in very good stead now with his Ghost Walk back online.
Yeah, he does still have to be careful though, because he is up against the BJ right now, and if those dual weapons come out, that can hurt so bad. Are we gonna see a telefrag? No, not just yet. Raisy, such a huge stack dropping on K1llsen, but the defensive rockets are solid, but not quite good enough. And that'll be Raisy cleaning up yet another frag.
So, K1llsen now with his Nyx, he can finally mirror a little bit, maybe not the way he wanted. Raisy will soon have his Ghost Walk back up. There's the heavy. Oh my god, the rocket lands anyway, and he reads what K1llsen's doing. K1llsen does still have an advantageous stack, but he's not going to be able to go over towards the Mega fast enough. And Raisy should be able to defend it.
Yeah, Raisy's got solid control right now, and K1llsen goes up the bounce pad. This sounds like a misplay, and it was Raisy with the rail. Good switch.
Yeah, really nice. He went for the Ghost Walk straight away afterwards. Wasn't sure if it was going to be, well, he probably was sure it was going to be the kill, but if it missed for some reason, he just wanted to have that backup plan because he was getting low on health too.
Yeah.
That was really, really solid Nyx play from Raisy. And I'm glad we're seeing him play that champion because I think he's immensely strong with it. And in recent tournaments, he's been maybe a little bit more reserved about whether or not to pick her.
Yeah, absolutely. On this turn though, on this round rather, we're starting off on K1llsen's point of view. He's again going with the Ranger up against the Nyx. Well, no visor in play, so you can't really counter her directly with that Ghost Walk. Gotta instead rely perhaps on that mobility. Use your orb to get out of a tricky situation when she uses the Ghost Walk. Raisy landing the opening rail, and he's gonna push in.
He does push in. He uses the Ghost Walk from that. I wonder if K1llsen's aware that this happened. If K1llsen doesn't have the information that Ghost Walk was used, then he's just going to assume that Raisy's going to be able to escape a fight if necessary. Yeah. But there's 260, don't do maths on stream, so don't do maths on stream, 260 collective health and armor for Raisy. So he's still looking phenomenally strong, especially landing rails like this.
Yeah, and at this point there's very little of a delay between the two major items, meaning that no player can really set up control unless they win a fight right away. Raisy moving over to the Mega Health, actually leaving up the heavy, and he is going to try and take a fight with K1llsen. He should have heard that pickup. Rockets won't connect. This is good for K1llsen. He might be able to get himself both major items if he is fast. Good rocket though from Raisy.
Really nice railing too from K1llsen. We get a little wall jump to preserve that angle for Raisy, which he of course lands. And these hourglass is also going to help him. Oh god, he's going to be close! K1llsen rushes in with the rockets and secures his first frag of the match.
Yeah, excellent play by K1llsen right there. After Raisy used the Ghost Walk, he was able to get both of the major items for himself, and he used that additional stack to take down Raisy and get himself a 1 frag lead into round 2. And now Raisy has lost that Nyx, which was so crucial for him in the first round, and he has switched onto the BJ.
Well, he's had a lot of luck with the BJ. I say a lot of luck. He's been earning it all with hard work. Let's see if he can do it once again. He's very nearby. Raisy pokes his head out, and the amount of damage it did straight away. He didn't use the dual wield or anything, but that combo was deadly painful.
This is a bad situation to be in for K1llsen right now. He doesn't have the orb. He knows that Raisy still has the dual wield. So if he gets caught in a bad situation where Raisy pops those two weapons, then he will be without a clue. He will have no escape routes whatsoever. He's got to find himself some armor, stick to the small areas of the map, try to evade Raisy, but that might not be possible anymore. The orb out of nowhere. K1llsen turns it around. What a frag.
That was disgusting for K1llsen. Raisy had so much control, but that was the trap that K1llsen set. It's like, if he goes around this corner, I have got him locked down. Raisy was suspended in the air briefly, and well, that was that. So now only one champion left this round for Raisy. His damage output has been unbelievable, but having to convert after, it's been a bit more troublesome.
Yeah, it's now Ranger versus Ranger, but K1llsen is in full control, just cycling, rotating two of the major items, and he's got a perfect gap between them too, allowing him to get over from one to the other without any issues. And now he's on the hunt for Raisy, who is just at his base stack for the time being.
Oh, there it is. Mega once again. Raisy might try to get a cheeky angle. Did he just pre-fire that? That was so fast from Raisy. He gave K1llsen no time to react at all. That was an unbelievable rail from him.
Yeah, and that's also going to buy him the heavy armor in the end. By hitting that rail, he kind of forced K1llsen backwards and was able to maneuver himself into a favorable position for that heavy. K1llsen landing a good rail in retaliation though, so that's going to get rid of some of that enormous stack that Raisy had going for him.
There's the pillar room for Raisy. Is he going to go over to Mega? He is. K1llsen might be able to get an angle. I think Raisy's guessing that he's in this general direction, but jumps over correctly, giving a minimal room for rail. And his control is looking decent, but he's got a minute now. A minute to act, get 2 kills, try and get us over to sudden death. So beyond this heavy, he needs to get stuck in. He needs to find K1llsen immediately. That defensive rail, while good, is going to broadcast to Raisy exactly where he is.
Yeah, K1llsen does have the nickname Railson for a reason. Here we go. Raisy is pushing in, landing 2 good rockets, but they won't do quite enough damage yet. K1llsen getting out alive. 35 seconds to go. Can he hang on to his lead? Raisy will be looking for him everywhere, but K1llsen playing a sneaky, evasive game.
Raisy's can't go for the heavy. He's just got to lock him down. He's over at lightning gun. Did you hear him just jumping there? He can't find him down by shotgun, and now it is. It's absolutely run, run, run. The orb's back online. Raisy's got to have a feeling that he could be below. Rocket goes for. Raisy's got to rocket jump back, otherwise he's going to have no time at all.
Yeah, Raisy rocket jumping up. He has a clue where K1llsen is. He's chasing him down. In comes Raisy with the LG, but those defensive rockets are going to set him back. And with just 5 seconds to go, that will definitely be it. K1llsen getting out alive and getting a tie game so far, 1-1.
Really sick rails that we're getting from Raisy. You know, K1llsen was pushed hard in order to escape, even though there were still 2 frags that were needed. See, there's a sigh of relief. He's getting into the next round. That's his first round won this entire tournament, because he's just started now on day 2. He's going to be relieved to have just got past that hurdle and now get himself properly into the series.
Yeah, and it's good to see that K1llsen definitely isn't suffering from any downtime. Since he didn't play yesterday, it was a little bit unsure of what his form would be. But after that round, I think we can all safely say that he is bringing his A-game to this tournament. Now, Raisy down below at the Blood Bowl being sneaky. He saw K1llsen's rocket peek out over the edge. K1llsen, unfortunately for him, didn't quite notice that Raisy is still hiding down below, waiting for an opportunity to get a rocket.
Raisy didn't go for Nix on this occasion, so he's saving for later. Oh, Raisy misses it, jump over to rail.
Yeah.
I don't think he got the weapon, so that's quite annoying for him. That might kill another minute of time if that's what it's going to take for Raisy to get to railgun. Yeah,
so Raisy still missing railgun, and K1llsen looks like he's aware that Raisy is still missing the weapon, is trying to keep an angle on it, but he does need the LG himself. The German player is without the lightning gun for the time being. They're both so close, but K1llsen breaks away. We're not going to get a confrontation just yet, as Raisy does secure himself a railgun. And now Mega is the next major item that is up. That will be going to K1llsen, probably. Raisy is in a good position though. Might have heard that Mega pickup.
They finally show each other's face. Heavy is up. Raisy is going to eventually make his way across. You can still attack a little bit, given that dual wield is a threat to K1llsen, but no damage is really exchanged. And in some respects, you could kind of say that K1llsen gave away the heavy. Wow, Raisy's so quick to look at that angle up top. And despite K1llsen actually staring down that stairwell, he did not land anything.
Yeah, and Raisy does have that dual wield ready, but of course he has to be careful. We both saw what happened last time. It was Ranger versus BJ. That telefrag, the orb came out so quickly. So Raisy's got to be careful not to take fights in bad situations, or that might happen again. split on the major items. Just a few seconds. Might see a confrontation here. K1llsen landing some good rockets. Raisy down below. K1llsen dropping on him. Doses. That's some great damage coming out of the German player.
Really, really good damage. He had to worry a bit about the dual wield, and I thought the drop was scary, but because his damage output was still there, he was looking good.
Yeah, for a second that drop was definitely worrying because you were dropping down not just against an LG, but against a BJ with 2 LGs out, so that is double scary. But he did manage to pull it off, and now K1llsen has the higher stack of the two, and he did catch a glimpse of Raisy dropping down. Players are again slowing down the game. This could be so bad for Raisy, taking a rocket in the back. Nice play from K1llsen.
K1llsen's rails haven't really been on point just yet. He's known incredibly well for his rails, how consistently he's meant to be landing with that weapon, but his rails really been about Raisy in this map. K1llsen maybe still warming up to the stage a little bit. Well, we can give him some time.
Yeah,
only a limited amount, considering we are best of 3, and this is his map pick. You've got to be hitting rails on Blood Covenant.
Yeah, very nice, fast, aggressive rocket jump from K1llsen right there, going to get himself onto that heavy armor, and we can really see we're 3 minutes into the round, and we haven't really had a big confrontation just yet. Both players still have all their champions available to them, so they are just looking for that perfect fight, that right situation to take the fight that will go in their favor. Crouch walking on both ends. They're pretty close to each other right now. If K1llsen goes through the teleporter, and he will find Raisy. And Raisy does land the rail. K1llsen retaliates.
Yeah, very steady pace of this round. K1llsen maybe lost down a couple of advantages where he could think of pushing in, but he's looking for a certain opportunity where he doesn't have to take too many risks. There's a rail. Good response to Raisy. Raisy's going to find him once more. There's a little bit of chip damage over here, searching for that vertical shot, but K1llsen pulls back. Raisy's got a chance to get away. Goes for the tri-bolt. Good damage with that weapon, but now we've got items up at the same time. They could break away. We're 4 minutes into round 3 with no kills on the board, and honestly, I'm not entirely certain who's going to get it first.
Yeah, I mean, so far both players have been playing a very defensive, conservative game. Raisy pulls out that dual wield. K1llsen will know that that ability has been used. This might be an opportunity for him to finally make that first frag happen. Just getting rails exchanged back and forth, and then the players usually just retreat to their own item to stack up again. But I think that K1llsen feels that he has a small advantage right now, and he is looking to pressure that. Here we go.
He's got the LG. Raisy's still hitting some good damage. He's on banana, searching for another rail. Raisy's incredibly vulnerable right now. He's going to go over to pillars. He's got to get the light arm and a health bubble. But K1llsen, he's all over him. One more rail would get the kill. 10 seconds to go. Raisy just needs to continue surviving to see if he can stack up. What a rocket from him. Breaking away from the rail angles. Does not want to give it up. It's now... Oh, the rockets! That was close.
K1llsen, these reads, they are amazing. K1llsen is just pulling out the damage, but Raisy's defensive plays were so good. K1llsen secures first the heavy, then the mega health, and still somehow Raisy managed to bring him back down to around identical stacks. Now K1llsen's got to hurry. He's making his way over to that mega health. Rocket jumping up, but Raisy is there with the rail.
There's no orb. Raisy shouldn't be aware of this. K1llsen looking for some rails, but we've got to drop down. We've got the dual wield. No orb for a second, and Raisy, he turns the round back on his head, and he's going to be on map point now.
K1llsen getting caught out when he was switching weapons. He had the LG out for a second, but then he tried switching to rockets when Raisy dropped down. Probably for the best, but he wasn't.
With no orb, and I don't think it even mattered what weapon he had there. He missed the jump over to Mega Health. He got railed off of it. And from there, I think he just had to get away, had to preserve a couple more seconds to get that orb back in order to try and escape. Moving into round 4, though, we're on Raisy's Nyx once again. And, oh, okay. Spamming those rockets over towards the rail does a little bit of damage, but he's vulnerable now. And he's going to be hoping not to meet up with K1llsen.
Yeah. Definitely players similarly stacked right now, but we're gonna get another confrontation. This is good, and K1llsen, but all he's got is the railgun out, and he doesn't do the damage that he should.
Wow.
Oof. 13 points of health left. One more bullet coming out of K1llsen would have landed that fight in his favor, but the first frag will be going to Maestro Raisy.
Super ballsy from Raisy to hang around that fight. He saw that he hit a brilliant rocket, and that switch to the heavy machine gun and executing of that was really immense. A lot of people, when they got their ghost walk down and they go into a close encounter fight, they would just run. They would be terrified.
Yep, but Raisy landed that opening damage. He decided to stick around, and it paid him off quite a bit, going up to the mega health now. Raisy did get heavy last time around, but he won't be able to contest for that weapon yet. Both players similarly stacked. Control probably switching to K1llsen right now with that rail. K1llsen pushing in. Ghost Walk being used. Can K1llsen find him? It looks like it.
Oh, what? He's got the gauntlet out. He's looking for more rockets. Tries to get the switch, but not going to work. That was uncharacteristically... that's just an uncharacteristic play of Raisy.
Yeah, uncharacteristically playful for Raisy, but this is pretty good for K1llsen. Landing that opening rail, and he's making his way back over to Heavy, prioritizing that armor over the health. And now back over to Mega Health. We might see another confrontation right here. K1llsen did see Raisy drop down. There he goes. Spots Raisy's BJ. Looking for an angle with the rail. Can't find the exit shot.
I just think there's little bits of chip damage with the shotgun. Raisy's going to continue escaping. With the champion score being the same, Raisy's not going to be too concerned at the moment. K1llsen can't defend a lead or anything like that. If items coming back up, he might run into him. And again, it's shotgun, missed rails, and each other's items. Heavy for K1llsen, and Mega is right up there if Raisy's able to get there in time.
Oh, K1llsen is going to hear that bounce pad being used. We've got BJ versus BJ, and both have their dual wield ability ready, so that is going to make players paranoid. You've got to be careful going up a bounce pad, turning any corner, because you never know what might be lurking on the other side. And here we go. Is K1llsen going to spot Raisy? Yes, he did! He saw the BJ down below. But Raisy isn't going to engage, which is, of course, the wise choice. Going up against someone with an LG at the top of a bounce pad is always risky, let alone when there's two of them.
Raisy just keeps on showing his face for half a second and going with like bits of heavy machine gun damage. He pushes through with dual wield, which this time didn't work so well. And on the back end of that ability being live, K1llsen's going to eat him for breakfast. I thought that was very odd to re-engage after K1llsen got the better entry damage at the end of the day.
Yeah, and K1llsen also was a little bit slower on using his ability to dual wield, and still ended up getting the frag right there. K1llsen now taking position on top of the bridge area. He is one frag in the lead. He doesn't really have to chase anything down. He can just be content, cycling the items and keeping control. Raisy is above him, but K1llsen's got such a stack advantage. What? I think he rocket jumped into Raisy's feet right there.
He did. He was trying to get up to the rail, maybe get some more ammo or something, and Raisy just...
Goomba stomped him in midair.
It's interesting because with that failed rocket jump, he can't get over to Mega Health so easily, and Raisy's managed to get there instead, and he's got a slightly better stack and a better position now to get heavy armor. Yeah, so that is a movement exchange? Have we ever said that? I don't know.
Yeah. K1llsen's rail seems to start warming up though. He's been hitting a lot of good shots in the last 2 minutes or so, but in comes Raisy. He knows, of course, that he has got to make something happen, and soon too. 55 seconds left on the clock, and K1llsen one frag in the lead, trying to slow it down. We saw this earlier. K1llsen has no problems doing what Raisy is very well known for himself.
Yeah, one rail left for K1llsen. He could hear him trotting around Banana. K1llsen's going to get himself close enough to 100-100. And with the heavy taken, I think that's crunch time for Raisy. He is going to be on the hunt to equalize this. This time with only one frag being made rather than the second round where he had to get two. Passes by, checking the small corridors. He's going to hear from the rockets up here. K1llsen missing out on that rail. With Mega, K1llsen's going to have to run. Here's after him. Oh, he hit him.
That direct
rocket.
Oh my god, that's going to buy K1llsen some time. 15 seconds to go. Raisy knows exactly where he is. In comes the orb, and he pushes it too, but these defensive rockets are insane. Raisy will go down. K1llsen holding his ground, standing tall, and taking down Raisy.
That was a sick direct rocket, and that actually helped him a huge amount. At that point, Raisy's got to push in no matter what, and had to take the risks necessary. So good round there from K1llsen. I think that was his best round yet.
Yep.
And now, with one round to determine who's going to get that map advantage going into the next, this should be interesting. Nix once again off the start for Raisy. He's got no armor to his name, but he's got items to run over to. Oh, close effort there from K1llsen.
That's a lot of information for K1llsen though, because seeing Raisy go back just at this time tells him that Mega has been delayed, and he knows that there's now a pretty sizable gap between the two of them. So if he can get some control right now, if he can get himself over onto the heavy again with a good stack, some good weapons, he will be able to probably secure Mega health as well. Gotta stay careful though. He's gotta be a little bit paranoid because that Ghost Walk is still in play and it might come out at any given moment.
Really interesting that he went for the orb there to try and be aggressive. It's like he's expecting Raisy to be stood there. Without the orb now for 15 seconds, which Raisy definitely saw happened. there's a window for aggression, but Raisy, again, he's happy to play it defensive, wait for the proper opportunity where he can get some good entry damage.
Yeah, Raisy definitely is the kind of player who likes to be in the lead. That's where he's most comfortable, that's where he can dictate the pace of the game. And so he definitely doesn't want to give up the first frag of this so important round. Oh my god, K1llsen finally starting to hit those rails, and Raisy so close to death right now. Got very little health in that corner of the map to work with. Heavy armor, that's a nice treat, but it won't do much when your health is that low.
I was really surprised that K1llsen didn't go and chase for some more damage and get some presence over there. There's a risk that he could allow Raisy to backtrack over to the Mega Health, but that was a perfect opportunity. Just try and get one last rail shot off, because that would have taken the kill if it caught Raisy by surprise.
Yeah. But instead, Raisy has managed to stack up to a quite sizable amount once again, and K1llsen is looking for his opponent, but Raisy also has that Ghost Walk back up. And K1llsen pretty much in full control though, but he's got to be quick. Is he going to be using his orb to get over to Mega? He doesn't even have exact timing, because Raisy's been keeping the pickups pretty close to one another.
Is that 100 now, as his overstack has floated downwards. Ooh, spots the head. I think they spot each other. That rail is only for K1llsen to land. Again, he's using his orb quite a bit for mobility right now.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that he's being careful, he's being paranoid. He knows that Raisy might be waiting just around the corner. That's something we've seen the player do time and time again. 61 damage and that long distance rocket. That's going to buy K1llsen perhaps a window of opportunity, a chance of getting that frag, and he hits another one. Raisy does manage to get out without taking all that much damage right there. It's probably in his favor.
Yeah, these rails are making Raisy have to play slow, because every time that rail lands, he's got to chill out, get on an item, and once again, the orb being used for movement. Finding another angle, can't connect on this occasion. I think he's a lot happier to move around of the orb, because he knows if he goes into close combat, that orb's going to be dodged by the Ghost War.
Yeah.
So might as well put himself in a good position, hit rails, and play from there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that is what K1llsen's hoping for right now. He wants to catch Raisy out, get him in a bad situation, force out that Ghost Walk, and then just take it from there. And that's exactly what happened right there. Raisy knew that he was stuck in the corner. The read! Oh my god, what a predictive rocket from K1llsen. 100 damage to Raisy's face, and there's no Ghost Walk to work with at this point. This is a good opportunity for K1llsen. He hears the bounce pad being used. He's got a good idea of where Raisy's at right now. Misses the rail.
That rail hit from Raisy is so nice, actually.
Yeah.
K1llsen's forced back. Now there's a big armor stack for Raisy. He's going to have his Ghost Walk back in a second. If he can land some damage first, he's going to be the one who can push in. I think K1llsen's got to be a little bit careful. This armor is going to heal his wounds a bit. But let's have a look with identical timing now on Heavy and Mega Health. There they are, spotted each other across the top section of the map. Again, it's been another fascinating stalemate on Blood Covenant, where few frags are determining the winner of each round.
Yeah, K1llsen needs to just not let these things get to his head, because it does feel like a missed opportunity. The way you deal with Nyx is you force out her Ghost Walk, and then when the ability is down, you catch her again and finish it off. And when you can't do that, but instead you let your opponent stack back up and get another Ghost Walk, it feels like so much effort has been for nothing. K1llsen has to get over that. He's now in top control. Raisy down below, switching to the tribal, but not finding any damage yet. And it does look like we're getting so close to the 5-minute mark that it might as well be overtime or sudden death right now.
I think next frag is going to decide the winner of this round and the winner of this map. K1llsen orbing back up, missing the rails. These are shots that he needs to be landing. Raisy slips away. He goes for the pre-fire down by between the pillars, but hits nothing then. And it's just too late to secure that last angle. Raisy just floating around. Those rockets again giving away K1llsen's position.
And right now we're really seeing a bit of a fight for control. Either play... Oh, that's a really good rocket from Raisy. Can K1llsen get out? Looks like it. Raisy used the Ghost Walk. K1llsen might have an opportunity here. Heavy will be going to Raisy. K1llsen is going to double back. Raisy not expecting that at all, but landing a good amount of damage with that rail. Really nice play from K1llsen right there. Double backing when Raisy was definitely expecting him to go for Mega. Rails being exchanged, but no one capitalizes off of the situation with a frag.
It's really ballsy from Raisy, because if K1llsen hits a rail there, I mean, he probably can secure the round since there's no Ghost Walk. But Raisy is trying to make some super ballsy plays. Ghost Walk is now back. He heads over towards Catwalk. There's no light armor over there. He's got very few resources to work with. We're moving into a place where full control is for K1llsen. He's got to be converting this into the map win now.
He will find Raisy. Raisy using the Ghost Walk. Can k1llsen read him correctly? He goes right back up, stops for the Mega Health first. If he can find Raisy within the next 20 seconds, this should be a done deal. Raisy right below k1llsen. He's not aware of it though. And now Raisy down below at the blood pool.
He needs to kill time. He really needs to kill time.
Yep.
He's going via shotgun. I think k1llsen spot him. If he gets the orb up, he maybe has a good window of time where he can secure something. Amazing defensive rocket from Raisy. That's going to secure him the heavy armor. And you can see k1llsen's shaking his head there. He knew he had something he could do, and he was not able to execute it properly. Do we have rail from down below, or was it just splash?
That was just splash, I think.
Okay.
And, well, yeah, this just really buys a lot of time, because with every one of those great defensive rockets that Raisy hits, k1llsen's got to go back to the drawing board. He knows he has to wait. Another rotation, gets stacked up again, force out another Ghost Walk, and here we go, he finds Raisy. Raisy doesn't have his ability yet. There comes the rail. k1llsen taking map 1. A bit of a messy final fight, but that final shot was on point.
Yeah, running into him in Banana. k1llsen shaking his head. He knows he missed a lot of opportunities to probably seal the deal earlier on, but eventually Raisy walks into him. He found him over by the hourglasses. It was definitely what Raisy was looking for in order to get that cooldown back, but k1llsen gets his first map. First map he plays, he wins here at the Quake Duel Invitational. This is good signs for him, but we do move over to Raisy's map now. Let me look. That's we're going over to Vale as the second.
Yeah, this, I mean, just to remind everyone, this was indeed k1llsen's map pick. It is a map that favors his playstyle very well. k1llsen, of course, a very rail-heavy player. He likes to play it a bit more methodical, wait out, go for those shots, and then capitalize off of the damage that he does initially, and that's exactly what he managed to do here against Raisy. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Vale, a map that I talked to k1llsen about earlier this morning, and he told me on the way over here that he really doesn't like Vale, and he knows that Raisy does. So this is going to be interesting to see. It's a very Raisy loves this map. He's great on it.
Well, despite what k1llsen's saying about these maps, he still plays it as a high level, so there's every possibility he can do something about it, but there's a map for Raisy to lose, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But in terms of champion picks, given that Clutch and Visor's banned, I mean, maybe we're like broken records now, but we know the K1llsen is going to come out from both the players. K1llsen is certainly going to come out from Raisy. I suspect Ranger from both of the players too. I'm very curious about the third pick from k1llsen. Is he going to go K1llsen? What else would he want to offer? Maybe BJ, maybe Death Knight. Death Knight's a champion he used a lot at PGL. Certainly a possibility there.
I would not be surprised if we saw Nyx come out, because Nyx or Ghost Walk, you can destroy the Galena totems with ease. You just walk through them, they blow up, and they do no damage to you whatsoever. So I think that Nyx can be very effective on this map.
I just wonder if she's a one-trick pony there, if that's what she can do, and then if she loses Ghost Walk, she's going over to the hourglasses, and if you get caught out of the hourglasses, you've got no escape over there. It's the only thing you can linger on. If you're going to play Nyx, you've got to be able to play a really slow game, assuming that your opponent's going to chase you there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a risky pick either way. Again, just for the people just tuning in, we know that one Clutch is banned by k1llsen, so no one can pick the big robot, and the same goes for Visor. So neither of those we will be able to see in play.
Yeah, if Raisy does win this map, we will be going over to Corrupted Keep, which should be really fascinating between these two players.
Oh, yeah.
Considering now the maps that we're going into are typically faster and faster. I feel like Raisy, with his shape, he looked very good on Blood Covenant. I expect to win. I expect, honestly, I'll be super surprised if we don't go over to Corrupted Keep.
Yeah, I would agree. And when it goes to Corrupted Keep, I would almost have to give it to Raisy, or at least give him a slight edge. It still is Raisy's Keep, and there is no railgun on Corrupted Keep, which is a weapon that k1llsen knows and loves oh so well. So if we go to the third and final map, I would have to give the slight edge to k1llsen.
Do you think so?
To Raisy.
Okay, I was going to say, I was like, hey, hang on, you just brought me up to knock me back down again.
No, I would have to give it to Raisy then,
right
if we go to the final one.
Well, it looks like k1llsen just had to get something quickly sorted out, but we will edge our way into game in just a second. Remember, whoever loses this game isn't going to be out of the tournament. They'll go over to the lower bracket. The thing is, if you win this game, I mean, it doesn't really matter whether you're going to the lower bracket or upper bracket. It's basically you're looking for that advantage in the grand final once you get there. The problem is, no matter which direction you go, you've got two other fantastically talented players to go against. You've got Claus, QuakeCon champion, and Rafa, PGL champion, and ESWC.
Yeah, no matter who you're going to go up against, it is going to be an incredibly difficult matchup in the next round. But as you said, that last advantage for the grand finals is so important, since it will be a double best of 5.
Is that confirmed now? I think That's what they were saying.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
At least that's what
I
I
was insane. That is going to be like a journey right there. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. That's going to be mental.
Yeah. Because those games, they can take so long, and they can be so difficult for players to keep their focus, because not only have you already been playing for basically a full day to get to that point, but then you get into the situation where potentially you have to do map after map after map after map, and it just keeps going. And every single one of those, they drain your focus, and they rely heavily on stamina.
These guys are used to it. Raisy, who was saying about how at PGL he had to go and play on the stream. He had to play versus Cypher, then he had to play versus Tox, and then he had to play versus Cypher again, just with no breaks. And he was like, man, I'm focused the entire time, but as soon as all of it's over and you sit down and out away from the computer, you're just drained.
Yeah.
Like the focus is really, really intense from these guys, allowing them to play at the levels that they're at. It's wild.
Yeah, and it's also, when you're still in the first stages of a tournament with more players in the pool, things will be moving a little bit slower. So you'll play a game and then you'll have quite a bit of downtime to rest and relax.
Yeah.
But the smaller the pool gets, the more and more you get to that final, the top of the pyramid, the faster and faster games will follow up on one another. So it becomes this mad, wild ride.
Yeah,
and that can be difficult.
While we're waiting for this game to get started over on Veil of Nath, I just want to talk generally about Quake Champions, guys. If you're maybe new to the game, or you spotted the stream and checking out what it is, game is free to play. You can get it on the Bethesda store, or you can get it over on Steam. We've just unlocked a new champion recently, Athena, and we completed the Slipgate milestone. So everyone who gets a Slipgate game in before the end of the month is going to get that champion for free. There's also so many exciting things going on with the game at the moment. We've got this interesting PTS, which I haven't had a chance to try out
None of
yet.
us have. It has been tantalizing because they dropped it the day before the tournament here started.
And everyone has been giving such amazing feedback on it that I'm like, dude, I gotta test this one out.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of balance changes to just the way that the abilities work, the champions play, the weapons behave, and then there's also, of course, a new champion that's been added, K1llsen, the turret-wielding German.
Yep, absolutely. And I can't wait to try all of that stuff out, and it's really good to get people's feedback on the PTS. If you got a Quake Champions pack, you can go onto the PTS too and try things out for yourself. But it's just another sign of so many developments that are going on in the game. Compare this to a year ago, the game's gone through a fascinating journey, and these pros that we got here at the Italian Esports Open, and every tournament really, they're constant adaptations, seeing who's able to fight for the top. This guy on camera now, Raisy, since the beginning of Quake Champions, he's been possibly one of the strongest players at adapting to each iteration of the game, and almost always being one of the top contenders.
Yeah, I mean, Raisy has undergone an evolution that I think very few players have. He started off, he came from Counter-Strike initially, moving into Quake, and initially he was this extremely aggressive player, pedal to the metal all the time, taking all the fights that he could. But then when the meta started changing, so did he, and he became really adept at slowing down the game, waiting, setting those traps, and just fighting in situations that were good for him. And right now I think that he's somewhere in a healthy middle. He's balanced.
What he's become now is just a direct, he's like a mirror match to every player he goes against. I again sound like a broken record, but what he does is he plays versus your opponent, he'll do exactly what they're doing, and it will be nuts. We saw when he's going versus Claws, he can be as aggressive and as wild as Claws is, but then when he goes versus Cooler, who's incredibly well known for being defensive, slow player, setting up traps, Raisy will be more defensive, more slow, setting up more traps than Cooler. So every time he's just like, right, I'm going to play the player, and I'm going to play them better than them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's really, really successful for him. Whereas for K1llsen, I think it's a bit more of a neutral style.
Yeah, definitely.
It sounds maybe less interesting to talk about, but I think, understands the fundamentals so insanely well. He's going to switch it on when he needs to. He'll be defensive when he's out of control. I think maybe only one of the things he needs to do sometimes is to close out those frags where we saw on Blood Covenant.
Yeah, we did.
But his aim is so unbelievably good that he's a threat to anybody in the world. Obviously, having taken down the tournament here last year, back in 2017, the guy's got brilliant history to him. So if you're new and you're checking out these players, K1llsen and his railgun that is what he's about.
Absolutely, and then perhaps, since we do have the time, a little bit of foreshadowing for the next match. There will be Rafa versus Klaus, a little bit about the players. So Rafa is of course known as the tactician of Quake. The 5 steps ahead meme is not so much of a meme as it is reality, because this guy is insanely smart and he will outthink you every step of the way. Whereas Klaus is of course known for his insane aim, his lightning gun, his railgun, his rockets. He just covers all of the bases, and when you go up against him it feels like you're being hit by a truck.
Yeah, and the match that I keep looking back at is at PGL, is that Blood Covenant game where 3,500 damage with rail is not enough for Klaus to take a map off Rafa. He ended up losing 3-0 in the semi-final, and you kind of got to think, well, what else does Klaus need to do at that point?
Yeah.
Because Rafa being able to counter that, and you know, he was also hitting close to 70% rail, just like Klaus was, hitting a third of the rails, but each one of those rails is probably as effective as 3 from Klaus.
Yeah, that just goes to show what I said is so true, because Klaus doing so much damage, 3.5k damage with a railgun. There's games where 3.5k damage isn't what both of these players get combined, but with that being said, we are going to finally move into the champion picks for this next map, Veil of Nav, Raisy's choice, and it will be BJ versus BJ to start things off. Galena pretty predictable so far. I thought that we were probably going to go with a Keel. Yeah, there we go, Raisy going with the grenades.
I suspect a Ranger now, but unless K1llsen's got something else up his sleeve, he is going to go Ranger. Okay.
Good calls.
I got it.
We basically predicted that perfectly. So here we are moving into the second map of this series. K1llsen, of course, took the first one. It was close, 3-2, but still he came out on top. And now we are moving into Raisy's map.
Yeah, completely. I want Raisy to be dominating that position up the back. But to be honest, I want both of them to be doing that. Get that early position. It's getting that lightning gun spawn you're often going to be hoping for. But if you could be proactive, engaging, get rid of that control up at the top by Mega Health, and you could be the one looming over the map. Game's getting started, guys. K1llsen versus Raisy here on map 2.
Yeah, starting this one off on K1llsen, who, oh my god, he knocks himself down. That was absolutely not intentional, and now he's missing out on the major items at the start. He was trying to put down some tribal spam at the teleporter exit to make sure that if Raisy came through, he would take damage, but that small explosion knocked him over the edge and made him miss out on some key items, and now he's starting to look to recover, pick himself up some weapons and some health bubbles that he desperately needs.
I would really like to see K1llsen getting that rocket launcher, actually.
Yep.
It's difficult to rocket jump up. Obviously, he hasn't got it. If he wants to get up that top position, he has to go for the orb, and he means he has to sacrifice that position at the top to get the weapon. He's also missing out on rail, so I want Raisy to now be setting up those totems. He's got 2 down, 1 at the teleporter exit. I suspect the other, is that over at rail? Yeah, it's by rail light armor, I think. Ow.
That's a good opener from Raisy, and K1llsen is still hanging around. Raisy come around the corner with a railgun. K1llsen is going to send him flying backwards though, but Raisy right now is in full control. He knows that Heavy is waiting for him, and he's got an opportunity and the time too to make it over to Mega, but there comes the orb from K1llsen. Mega will be going to the German. This is a bad spot to be in for Raisy. He's just gonna push in mercilessly. K1llsen will go down.
Raisy knew that the orb had been used because K1llsen got to the top and got rid of the totem. So as soon as he saw that orb getting used and he hit the rail, he's like, well, I can push in now. 2 great rockets. There's the closer. Totem is going to die. And now he can just quickly get back on his feet, pick up the major items, and, well, there you go. You've just broadcasted to me that you've taken 75 damage. You're trying to get on Mega. There's a rocket to push you away. Tribal's nice as well, and it's just pushing him away completely. But he's so low on health now, he has to escape.
Yeah, Raisy was doing a good amount of damage right there, but K1llsen had the positioning, he got himself the Mega Health, and he dual-wielded that LG, and now Raisy is down to 20 points of health. He does have a totem available to stack right back up, but he's still hanging on to that one, and he can't get it out on time. Raisy, I cannot believe he waited so long putting that item down.
Dude, you have to totem Raisy. You're on 20 points of health. Look at your health bar sometimes. Now he might give up this one. He gets the dual wield up, but he's got nothing for him. That's a throw right there. I can't believe Raisy did that.
Instant reversal. 2 quick frags from Raisy being converted into 2 quick frags from K1llsen, and now we're 2-2, and K1llsen is the one in control, but he's got to be careful though, because those grenades coming out of Keel, they will bite. K1llsen right now waiting for Raisy. He knows that his opponent is still somewhere down there.
It's going to be annoying for Raisy because he knows he's made a big mistake and he's got to look past that. He's not going to enjoy looking back at the VODs later, whether he wins or loses. No matter what happens, he's going to know he made that critical error. K1llsen gets onto Mega Health, he gets onto Heavy. Raisy's full natural right now, but he's got to do a lot of damage to someone who could potentially do a lot more.
Yeah, and that's a nice sneaky little rocket from K1llsen right down there at the rockets. Doesn't do much damage, but it does give away Raisy's position. That's a lot of information. And now K1llsen setting up near the Mega Health. Perhaps a bit early. I wonder if he still has the time, since it was Raisy who secured it previously. And look at Raisy's stack. Just because he's playing Kiel, that heavy champion, he's got such a higher base stack than K1llsen does, and that is showing right now too. K1llsen will take the heavy armor though.
I think Raisy's going to be very happy to play this slowly, knowing that K1llsen having an advantage. He's got to play it slowly. Dual wheel comes out, it goes up the top. His rockets really aren't bad. Raisy's got rid of a lot of this stack. Good rockets. Just on 2 points of health left, and this Mega's not going to spawn in time. Raisy tries to be proactive, and you can see there a big exhale from K1llsen.
Ooh, good frag from K1llsen right there at the end. I mean, I don't think that this is what many people were expecting. Veil, a map K1llsen himself says he really doesn't like playing on, and that Raisy absolutely loves, and still first round going to K1llsen. Had to work for it though, but here we go, round 2.
K1llsen took advantage of the mistake from Raisy.
Yeah.
That one mistake cost Raisy the entire round, and he's going to know that. He's got to make sure he plays a more flawless game than the last.
And K1llsen, really, when I was talking to him earlier, he said that what he thinks is so important when going up against Raisy is that he doesn't give away that first frag, because if you let Raisy get the first kill, the first point on the board, then he can dictate the pace and he can play a super passive game. And that's something that K1llsen wants to avoid at all costs. The rail knocking down K1llsen, denying him the heavy.
Oh, rail angle, they're not quite going to find it. I don't know if Raisy's going to be able to do quite the defensive masterpiece that we saw on Blood Run here on Veil, but you never want to put it past him.
Yeah. K1llsen now, top control, kind of almost hitting a really good rocket on Raisy there, just a fraction of a second too soon. Heavy will be the first item to spawn, and then Mega Health will be up shortly afterwards. K1llsen, is he looking to orb right through? Yes, he does. Using that orb and the crate very effectively, Mega will be going to him, and we're seeing a slower game this time around. Back in round 1, we almost had 2 frags by this point already, so both players playing a bit more carefully. 2
totems. K1llsen hasn't seen that totem right below him. He'll find it now. Tribal's going to get rid of it. There was overstacked totems for a second, so Raisy did manage to get to 175 health. His armor stack is really good. I wonder if K1llsen knows that. He's right next to him. Rocket potentially coming out, but no real damage exchange, just a little bit. There's the jump. K1llsen, he could get crushed right now. This rocket to LG. That is going to be first blood of the round for Raisy.
I do want to say though, that was an amazing play from K1llsen if it had worked. He threw out the orb as he was jumping down. His plan was just touch heavy, orb right back up and get out of that room alive. That was a sick play, but Raisy was ready for it, and the damage was just obscene. And now Raisy's got that overstack from them health totems, and there we go. Finding another frag on K1llsen. It's 2-0 for Raisy.
Yep, there's going to be 2 totems down here. This is going to put him out to close to 175. Mega is going to be up in a second. Raisy cares a little less for that, but he knows he's going against a dual wield now. 1 more totem to his name.
Oh, there we
K1llsen,
go.
he finds the treasure. He only kills one of them, actually. I don't think he knows he didn't get rid of them both, and Raisy's going to be like, oh, sweet. Oh, there's another. I really love that K1llsen's going around trying to detect the hidden totems, because it's that infrastructure for Galena that makes her so strong. If she gets set up, you're going to have a hard time.
I mean, that is imperative that you get rid of those totems, because once Galena gets 3 totems up, they will all recharge and they will all get that overstack ability, meaning that you can basically carry a Mega Health in your pocket when you've already got the other one set up. And that is so dangerous that if you allow a Galena to set up and get that infrastructure going, that is very difficult to break. So K1llsen really needs to pay some time and some focus to get rid of those totems. But on the other hand, he's 2 frags down with 2 minutes to go. He's got to make some kills happen.
Well, there's another totem going to go down soon for Raisy, and I think he's going to want to re-stack them. There he is, he's going to go for it. And K1llsen, at some point real soon, is going to gather that Raisy's trying to play that passive game. With 1 kill advantage on this map, I'm not sure it's as possible. With 2, with this amount of time left, for sure Raisy's going to try and do this.
And K1llsen doesn't find Raisy. Raisy does shoot off Rocket though, and that is going to alert K1llsen of his position. And now K1llsen should know that Raisy is more or less on this side of the map. But those defensive rails, I mean, it's that chip damage, you know, 90 damage off of K1llsen's stacks is going to force him to stack up again and waste more time before he can really mount that assault, and that's what we're seeing right now. K1llsen landing some good opening rockets. Is he going to push this one? He will! Out comes the double LG, but Raisy looking super solid and getting the frag. 1-1.
Really, really comfortable stuff for Raisy. He knew his totems were helping him to no end. K1llsen being forced to make a move at that stage just to try and get the ball rolling on that map with the minute of play he had left in that round. Now Raisy puts himself onto map point and we are potentially... Oh no, sorry, it's 1-1. Raisy taking the steps necessary to get us to a tiebreaker map. We're not certain where it's going to go yet. K1llsen being very aggressive. A totem walks through, but the machine gun, Raisy holds onto it. He even had the gauntlet out for a second.
Yeah, Raisy getting that frag with 33 points of health. Going through the teleporter, always a scary moment when a player decides to go through there, because one tiny misstep and you will fall to your death. K1llsen,
nice.
Not wasting any time, immediately going in for the refrag as Ranger, taking down Raisy again.
Oh my god, we got the dual wheel, but the rocket meets him as he's about to hit the floor. It is just Keel to go. This is a much faster paced round than we were getting earlier. And I think, did he just catch wind of where Raisy was? He did.
Yeah, K1llsen knows more or less where Raisy is at right now, launching a predictive rocket. Not quite connecting, but he does hear Raisy. K1llsen at this point doesn't have a railgun yet, and that's a weapon that he really wants because he would have been able to get some long distance damage off in that situation that he now has missed out on. Good drop from K1llsen. Is he going to orb back up? Yeah, he will. Try to take that top control. Wants to drop down so bad, but he knows that taking a close quarter fight against the Keel with all of his grenades available, that could be suicide.
Yeah. Raisy's going to get himself back up to full natural. K1llsen is looking good. Raisy's just looking for a trap. If you can get that sort of rocket grenade combo, that's 175 damage. Just bang, in an instant. K1llsen's got to make sure he doesn't run into these traps. And he's looking very good for the time being. You can tell he's even a bit nervous to go down to the railgun in case he loses position up here, which is giving him so much map control. Loads of grenades coming out to the top. Raisy gets himself onto the heavy armor. He'll find a couple of 25 health bubbles down by Rocket. He's not too bad, but he's the one forced to make an aggressive play soon.
Yeah, good play by K1llsen there, though. He knew that dropping down onto heavy would be so risky because he exposed himself to those grenades, so instead he just decided to stick back and do damage instead, and that is the perfect range for Tribolt. Raisy will be suffering from that engagement as K1llsen is going aggressive, looking for Raisy. But Raisy dropped down all the way and snuck out into the rail room. Still, K1llsen one frag ahead. Doesn't need to force any of the engagements.
Oh, that bounce pad goes right back up. There's a good rocket damage that is possible for grenade combos. Lot of damage from both players, but there's 1 point of health left for Raisy. He's trying to go for the rail shot. So gutsy from him, but the lightning gun is being spammed out. K1llsen now on match point.
K1llsen was just waving SLG over that ledge, waiting for Raisy to show his face, and he did at the very end with 1 point of health. A little tiny tickle of lightning was all it took, and now K1llsen is actually on match point.
Yep, here we go.
If he takes this one, he will be the first one to qualify for the second round of the final day of this tournament. K1llsen starting off on Galena once again, looking for a frag on Raisy. There comes Raisy up the bounce pad, and K1llsen, he wants that railgun that is waiting down there for him. It's calling his name, but he knows that Raisy is set up nicely.
He's spamming out preemptively on that teleporter exit. K1llsen with the early setup over by Mega Health. He needs to get a totem down, quite possibly. There it is on the teleporter exit. There's Mega Health. Armor's a little bit lacking, but for what he doesn't have in the armor Raisy has, he's got it in position.
Now K1llsen has some serious top control, but he doesn't have much infrastructure going. Neither player does. Totem's getting destroyed pretty quickly. Raisy being pushed back through the teleporter will take 75 damage, but I think so did K1llsen. And now K1llsen, he's low. He's on the back foot. Raisy might be able to capitalize off of this and get himself some control going. Getting some health, some armor. But K1llsen will be taking the heavy this time around. And there he comes, the German, landing so much damage, but the Mega is right there for him at just the right time, and Raisy will survive and even convert.
What a great LG. K1llsen dropped down. I don't think he was expecting that the lightning gun to be used. When you're dropping down and someone's got LG, it's generally a bad decision, especially given how low both the players' health and armor was on.
Yeah, that was an insane turnaround from Raisy because it definitely looked like he had that one in the bag. He was looking solid and somehow still converting that frag right back around to K1llsen, who is now on the BJ, pulling out the dual rockets, but this is the corner of doom. K1llsen up, down, trampolining all over the place. But no chances of survival there, and this is probably going to be Raisy closing this one out.
There it is, get the job done. Lightning gun.
There we go.
He takes his time a bit, and he's like, man, come on, can I just get some bit better LG there?
Playing with his prey, toying with K1llsen, and now it's 2-2. This is such an important round. Raisy wins it, we're going to the third and final map. K1llsen takes it. Raisy will be dropping down to the lower bracket.
Yeah, I like it. We're seeing all the rounds at the moment. Very good stuff. Raisy not going to be getting that lightning gun spawn. He's going to be low on weaponry for the moment. Spotted exactly where K1llsen was. K1llsen opting for a LG totem. And Raisy, given that he's over here, trying to get those hourglasses up, I think he's trying to get himself that mega stack as quickly as possible.
Raisy is looking for a way out of here because all he has right now is a nail gun and a rail gun. No rockets, no LG, no tri-bolt. He's kind of stuck in here and he's just looking for a way out, whereas K1llsen has been dominating most of the map and is getting set up nicely on top.
There's rockets, and he works hard for himself to get that. He goes through that teleporter. I think he went up to tri-bolt position, so he might be able to clear those totems up there, and you can see K1llsen's got none on the board. He checks behind the corner. Very smart, knowing where Raisy likes to place his totems. But now there's one up by the mega side. Raisy's got a bit of a better position. I think he's got a weapon advantage too, as K1llsen's got no rail. We've got a drop down. Good rocket from Raisy. LG also connecting. Defensive totem. K1llsen, he backs up onto the heavy, but he's so low. Likewise is Raisy.
I must say that was a brilliant play by K1llsen because usually you cannot jump on heavy like that when someone has an LG out because they can just push you back. But K1llsen first pushed forward into Raisy and then jumped back so that the LG actually pushed them on heavy. But right now he's fighting with a sliver of health, getting a 1 health bubble. In comes Raisy from the top. K1llsen not ready for this at all. Raisy, can he find the final frag to get a lead?
And now Raisy's got to be really careful because he's railable. K1llsen, he would have had him if he went over to the nail gun. Good position, but the totem is damaged. He can't afford to eat. Heavy, he takes the plunge, jumps onto it. He's stacked up a bit, but again, health is the name of the game for him at the moment.
That is so difficult to watch as a spectator because you know that the totem is there and you see K1llsen looking at the teleporter and you're like going, no! And then he walks through it and takes it 75 damage to the face. Can't be too happy about that. And now Raisy has got the stack advantage and he's looking for K1llsen. He knows that he's the player in the driver's seat right now and he wants to turn this into a frag as soon as possible. K1llsen is now going up to the mega health. Looks like he will be able to secure that item for himself. Yeah,
K1llsen mega. There. Is he going to check it? He's found it. He's found everything that K1llsen's put down. Both of these players very wise to what they're trying to do with the Galena, using pretty standard spots for to put totems down. I wonder if they can increase their creativity a little bit more and see if they can get those 3 totems up without them getting destroyed by one another.
Oh, that was the damage!
So much damage from K1llsen. Raisy, he's going to have to back off a little bit. There's a totem down below that can help him. K1llsen with open access to the heavy, open access to the mega health. Raisy is going to be on the run.
K1llsen definitely taking notes from the games we saw yesterday where Raisy juked out Cypher several times using the teleporter down there. K1llsen immediately catching Raisy right there. And here we go. This could be converted into the first frag. Raisy's rockets are huge and he even has a totem to work with still. K1llsen so upset he couldn't get around that pillar with his LG enough, and Raisy used that cover perfectly.
Raisy was an absolute ninja just then. He was jumping all over the map geometry, avoiding so much damage. He finished the fight with 100 health and 66 armor. I mean, that was unbelievably good from Raisy. Orb comes in, it misses out. Now he wants to pounce, he wants to take 1 more kill, send us over to Corrupted Keep in a minute and a half or less. He runs right back in, rail, never mind, it's going to go into the lightning gun, and there is the frag secured. Only Blaskovitz to deal with now.
A minute and a half on the clock for K1llsen to get 2 more frags. This is almost looking like an impossible task. Raisy looking solid. He's got 2 frags lead, but this is good for K1llsen, though he used his dual wield, but he got himself onto the heavy. Is he going to let Raisy get out of this situation alive? Raisy playing the teleporter game wonderfully, and the rail comes out. K1llsen perhaps a bit too aggressive, still had some time left, but of course at some point you do have to go for it.
Super, super solid from Raisy in that round. Really smart plays with his Galena all the way through. And I just loved him in those fights over at the railgun area. The way he was just hopping around, K1llsen felt so secure in the fact that he had a stack advantage going in. But there was a rail entry from Raisy, and then rockets were hitting. No LG was hitting for K1llsen. I mean, that was that. I thought that fight there is kind of what put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it was. There were just a few small, like, these small moments that eventually turned it in Raisy's favor. K1llsen not being able to secure out a frag, having the wrong weapon out. That happened a few times, and you could see it on the face cam too, how frustrating he was getting with himself when he would turn, like he would be up at LG and Raisy was down below near the stairs, and he would have his LG out and he did a little bit of damage, and then he switches to rockets, but by the time that you've switched weapons, Raisy has already backed out of the room, and that was such a good trap from K1llsen. But wrong weapon, and Raisy gets to escape. Well, basically scot-free. He's not happy about that.
Well, now we're moving into Corrupted Keep. It's going to be our tiebreaker. K1llsen allowing this one to come up as the tiebreaker. A lot of people call it Raisy's Keep. And I guess we have to make that statement because it's been the case for probably over a year now.
Yeah.
Raisy loves this map. He's got very, very high percentage win rate over here. But K1llsen, he's played this game before.
Yep.
He's had a few games on this map. He's not bad at all. Especially, I was impressed with his performance, almost taking down Vale. This could still go down to the fifth round.
Absolutely. And there isn't a railgun in place on this map. That's a very important key feature. But
let's check it out.
Yeah, let's take a quick look at what the champion picks are going to be.
I'm expecting definitely Galena. I think Galena BJ Ranger is probably what makes the most sense, but Raisy might want to bring out a K1ll.
Yeah, I think if we're going to see Death Knight on any map, it's going to be this one between these two players. But probably much more likely to still see a K1ll. So far, BJ on both sides, Ranger for K1llsen, and Galena for Raisy.
So it's a K1ll or Ranger, in my opinion, I think, unless he's going to go for a total wild card over here. Obviously,
he's thinking about it.
He's thinking. He's going to go for Ranger.
Okay.
So we're going to go mirror at the end of the day. Raisy, it was definitely weighing up between the Ranger or the K1ll. Yeah. Feeling, okay, what's going to work versus K1llsen the most? I'd love to hear about what his thoughts on it would be. Maybe he just feels like K1llsen could potentially hit too hard.
Yeah.
He knows that he's going to have that Ranger. He doesn't want to get orbed on it and have to play such a careful positional game with K1llsen, with K1ll.
Of course, K1ll is a pretty big champion. He's a heavy champion, larger hitbox, easier to hit, but he won't be picked this map around. So on that note, here we go. Jumping into the deciding map of this series. Who is it going to be, K1llsen or Raisy? And we're starting the fun off on K1llsen's point of view, and he's just absolutely blazing trail over to that lightning gun.
Yeah, Raisy hasn't even made his way over there yet. He's gone with the BJ first. I wonder if Raisy's got himself to the rockets yet. He can have a very limited amount of weapons for the moment, but you can never underestimate it.
Yeah, this is a very unorthodox play coming out of K1llsen, because usually when you spawn on heavy side, your opponent will try to deny some of the weapons, and you might be without LG or rockets for a minute or even two, we've seen. But this time around, K1llsen was just like, no, I'm gonna go for it, YOLO, into that lightning gun room as soon as possible. Raisy does get a rocket, he didn't have it at the start, and he doesn't have LG still. K1llsen, such a good opening play, but the damage, the double rockets hurt. And K1llsen forced to retreat, at least for the time being.
Good dual wield, actually. Nice defensive play, given how much entry damage that K1llsen had. Raisy can finally get himself onto the lightning gun. And here we go with another rotation. All comes in. It's good damage from K1llsen. That is going to be the first frag for him. And I think Raisy felt that going for lightning gun was a risk. And maybe there was a bit of hope there. Hope that K1llsen wasn't going to chase and push into him.
Good read from K1llsen, but
wow,
Raisy! I think Raisy got Mega and then hit just 2 directs. That was a sick play from Raisy. I really thought that K1llsen was going to get that one, because that was a really good read by K1llsen, but those amazing rockets turned that around in his face. As we are now watching Raisy, who is almost getting stuck on the statue for a second, moving back in, but K1llsen doing so much damage. Shotgun will eventually finish it off. And K1llsen looking for a good spawn.
The fights that Raisy's winning are so damn close, but at the moment I feel like the fights that K1llsen's winning is really convincing. He's catching him out of position, and it's all too easy. K1llsen's going to find that Galena hiding over by Heavy, trying to scout him out. Chance to do damage, where the Greats maybe don't swallow his rockets over there. Now chase over towards the Mega. That's going to allow Raisy to get onto a lightning gun, get rid of the totem that was put up there.
Yeah, K1llsen couldn't quite close the trap fully. Raisy did manage to get out, but K1llsen is now waiting for the LG or the Mega Health to spawn. Is he going to chase? I think he should. Raisy does manage to get out with just a sliver of health remaining. K1llsen again leaving a frag that I think he definitely could have closed out, but he will find Raisy now. And surely this will be it. K1llsen, first round on the final map.
Good fights from K1llsen. The first 2 frags were brilliant, and I like that he eventually chased down. He realized that now Raisy's going to feel that he's a bit safe, given that K1llsen hasn't seen him in about 5 seconds, and that he can catch him comfortably over at the 225s, where he's going up the bounce pad. It doesn't get much easier than that.
No.
So Raisy's got to come back fighting now, because he's got to show that he's better than what he delivered here in round 1.
Yeah, and another immensely aggressive play by K1llsen. He went with the orb onto the other's major item. He just went for the Mega Health. Couldn't quite close it out, but that's a big rocket. Raisy sent flying sky high, and he cannot get away with it. K1llsen just racking up these frags right now. The man is on fire. Getting himself the LG too, and in comes Raisy with very little to his name. Doesn't have many weapons. K1llsen, be careful for that totem. Mega will be going to K1llsen though.
Raisy's going to go down, and again, that is absolutely crushing defeat for the Hungarian at the moment. Just one map to get yourself across the line into the winner bracket final. Guarantee yourself top 3, but he is not yet there.
Nope, indeed he is not. K1llsen slightly low, but he is going to be able to stack back up with those health levels around. And now he doesn't want to leave this room anymore because he knows that Mega is up soon. And there is Raisy going down again. 3 frags in a minute. What a fast game are we seeing?
Really, really, really quick from K1llsen. He's being aggressive, he's being unpredictable off the starts, and he's showing just how strong he can be. Although he lost the last map, it feels like he's just been building and building on this momentum. One more round he needs. Raisy's got to step up a little bit. He's going to go BJ first. K1llsen still on his Ranger. And now we've got an aggressive push from Raisy. He's fed up with this. He just wants to get in.
I mean, we were at the start saying that K1llsen is a bit more of a neutral general player, not so much someone who really adapts all that much, but he has been doing just that. Gotta get out of the situation right now though, K1llsen. In comes Raisy.
Nice.
Rocket, not enough damage. But yeah, K1llsen has really been catching on to the fact that Raisy so much wants to get that first frag to be able to dictate the pace of the game, and K1llsen is just pushing in unexpectedly, trying to take these frags off of Raisy, but now Raisy again standing strong. 2 frags in 35 seconds.
I wonder if this is going to be an even faster round. He's going to find him out in the middle. There's the dual wield. There's a totem down. He's just going to get rid of 1 rocket and rams out the LG for the last 46-second round for Raisy. And he's coming back fighting, actually. Those 2 rounds he lost, he was pretty poor, but that was phenomenal from him.
Both players are just coming out swinging at this point. K1llsen gets a game. 3 frags in 1 minute and 2 seconds. Raisy says, okay, 1 minute and 2. Well, let's see what I can do. 46.
Are we going faster now?
Yeah.
Raisy's going to go for a personal best.
Oh, here we go. Raisy doing the exact same thing he did before, but K1llsen is standing strong. No! The LG, Raisy missing out on the first frag. This is so good for K1llsen. And he finds Raisy again off the bat, but K1llsen, keep in mind, does not have a rocket launcher yet. He's got to be careful.
He's got the light armor. He can find a bunch of health if he wants it. He's going to even orb up and get himself rockets. Now, even looking for damage, actually. Trying to just keep some pressure on Raisy. Just now he can heal himself up, and the big items are back. Raisy goes in for the orb. There's a rocket. LG swinging around. Raisy pushes K1llsen away. Still has access to the Mega Health. That was incredibly aggressive from Raisy. He feels like he's forced to make a big play.
Yeah, and he might really have to do just that to overcome K1llsen, who is looking so strong right now. Even with these rockets orbing up, Raisy surviving 49 points of health. Both players, 1 champion down. It's going to be Ranger versus K1llsen right now, or Ranger versus Galena instead. And Heavy will be going to Raisy.
100 for him. He can catch him out in the middle. Rocket's going to miss. There's LG down. He's even orbed onto the totem, but he's taking so much damage!
No!
Oh, K1llsen, he is laughing about that. He's like, man, thank you. You put me a frag away from getting through to the winner bracket final. There's going to be Raisy taking some more rocket damage. There's 2 25s there, but he knows it's a trap. K1llsen just setting up here. It's like, oh, you want these resources? Well, I've got you down. I'm taking the win if you get anywhere near here. And now the heavy for him. Raisy's going to hear him coming. He's going to drop anyway. He does get the armor, but he's so low on life that K1llsen takes him down, takes the W, and will meet either Rafa or Claus in the winner bracket final.
What a tremendous play by K1llsen at the end there. I have to eat my words. I said that if it's going to go to map 3, this is likely going to be Raisy's game, but K1llsen came out oh so strong, so convincing, just sticking it to Raisy round and round again with these completely unpredictable, unconventional plays.
I really liked what Raisy was doing over in round 3 and in round 4, but the failure there was the execution. He had to get maybe a little bit closer with the shotgun to secure first blood of round 4, and maybe it could have gone differently. But K1llsen, he was so good in rounds 1 and 2 that, I mean, Raisy had it up against him in order to come back. We are going to go over to an interview on stage, I think, with K1llsen and Jorasar.
Congratulations to K1llsen. Mate, throughout the course of the match, when we're watching the player cams, I could see your face get more and more scrunched up as the focus was increasing through that second map. Talk us through not necessarily closing out map 2, but managing to bring it out in the end.
I mean, I really had to pull off a different style to play against Raisy because he knows how I usually play. But there was also something bad going into my favor that I couldn't rely on my raw aiming because it was not working somehow the first 2 maps, and I've been missing so much and my LG was so off. So I had more like play around, more like rocket heavy, spam and abilities of course. And it paid off, and Uncorrupted Keep right in time, my LG gets back, and it's the most important map for LG, and it just worked.
We saw a pretty different Raisy as well, very dynamic, all over the place, and catching you off guard a couple of times too. How did you adapt to his play style? Because that was quite evident throughout the series.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best example for this is like the last map, Corrupted Keep, where it's quite strong to spawn with BJ on the shotgun, take the heavy armor, and rush the mega health LG side. And he did it twice in a row, so first, he shouldn't be succeeding the first try already, but he did it somehow in the end. So I was thinking like, how did it work? It shouldn't be possible. I mean, Super Shotgun is strong, yes, but you have LG and you can keep him and push him on distance. And I did it the second time, and yeah, you just gotta rethink what happened, and next round is gonna be different then.
Well, congratulations, you're now through to the winners match, and of course, we're playing for the marbles today. This is the final day here at the Italian Esports Open for Quake Champions. Well done to K1llsen. We're gonna throw it back over to the desk now to break down how that match unfolded.
Awesome hearing there from K1llsen. He looks